game that wrapped up just a little bit ago. It was Linton Stockton and Crispus Attucks. Attucks winning that contest 58-46. For Carmel, you saw the two coaches there, Ryan Osborne for the Carmel Greyhounds and Chris Johnson, the head coach for Homestead. Osborne's done a heck of a job in 5 years at Carmel. 93-19 is his record in his 5th year at Carmel. And for Homestead, Chris Johnson, what a career he's had. 374 wins and 155 losses in his 23rd year at Homestead, and 454 wins all time in his 28 total years of coaching. As soon as this one wraps up, that will conclude our coverage on MyNDTV, but we'll still have 2 more games to bring you at this Sneakers for Santa, with Lawrence North taking on Heritage Christian after that at 6:30, and then at 8:15, Greg Rakestraw will have that one for you. Cathedral, ranked number 1 in Class 4A, will play a team out of Ohio called the Brush Arcs. That's going to wrap things up for the Sneakers for Santa. Those will be the final 2 games. Much more to get to in our pregame coverage of Carmel and Homestead as they get ready to face off in what is a rematch of a regional round matchup they had in the playoffs this past season. You are watching Sneakers for Santa on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. High school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now, because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your...
We're about to go on. Moments away from tip-off between Carmel and Homestead, as the Homestead Spartans come into this game a record of 2-1, ranked 5th in Class 5A, and Carmel ranked 4th in Class 4A. Both these teams 2-1 so far on the season. Carmel, you might remember, made it all the way to the state championship game and won it last year, beating Lawrence North in what was a thrilling contest. And Homestead was one of the teams they knocked off on their way there in the regional round, 61-48. As we get ready for this battle between these two teams in blue. Joining me now is Mike Broughton. Mike, we got a doozy of a matchup coming up here between 2 of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, this was, last year Homestead was 25-0 when Carmel beat them in the regional final, and so there's got to be some interesting thoughts going between these guys, especially whenever last year I think they were the 2 best teams in the state, and of course Homestead's got Division I guy, and then Carmel's probably got 2 or 3, and so it should be a great game, especially early in the season like this when everybody's trying to figure out what they got.
Fletcher Lawyer is that Division I guy you talked about. He's number 2 on your screen there. Unbelievable start that he has had through 3 games, where he is averaging 30 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. So For those who maybe are seeing him or will see him for the first time today, Mike, tell us a bit about what Fletcher Lawyer does that's so dangerous.
Well, the one thing about he's going to Purdue, and Purdue's going to be #1 in the nation Monday, and so he's a quality player, one of the best shooters in the state, or maybe the best shooter in the state. And it's going to be interesting how Homestead tries to get him open, because Carmel's got 2 or 3 guys that really can defend.
And that's going to be a challenge for them, but also one guy that stands out to me for Carmel is a fellow by the name of Josh Wack, who's a 6'1" senior guard. His defense in particular in the 4A state championship game against Center Grove last year was outstanding. So if you're Carmel defensively, you think you might put him on Fletcher Lawyer? What's your strategy there?
Well, I think they'll put Wack to start out, and then I think they'll put Suter on him as well. And I think those 2 guys will probably interchange, even though Wack is their defender. Anybody in the state that they play who has a good shooting guard or a wing, Wack's the guy.
So Suter was number 5 on your screen. Carmel's wearing their white jerseys today, and Homestead is wearing a dark blue. Last night, here's what Carmel did. Charlie Williams, their 6'10" senior forward, scored 23 points in their win over Lawrence Central. Pete Suter had 18. Sam Orn had 14. Orn was just kind of a sophomore role player guy, sort of off the bench last year for Carmel, and he comes in, makes a bunch of contributions. There's Charlie Williams right there, and then there's Josh Wack, number 4, on your screen. So it looks like Ryan Osborne, again, has a well-rounded team.
Yeah, and you know, they lost early to Zionsville, but the Williams kid at 6'10", he's going to William and Mary. He had only 2 shots and 2 points in the first 2 games, and then, of course, last night he kind of went bonkers a little bit, 9 for 11 from the field, had 23 points, and so, you know, he's a guy that, Division I guy that's got to get going, and I think the difference between them scoring 72 points last night and then 43 or whatever they scored in the earlier games, I guess it was 42, is probably the shots that Williams can get on the inside, because if he can get them scoring on the inside, then everybody else, it opens up.
Carmel and Homestead moments away from tipping things off. When we come back, we will have much more to get to. We'll tell you about the starting lineups and get you set for what will be the 5th game of 7 at the 2nd annual Sneakers for Santa at Brownsburg High School. You're watching high school boys basketball on the ISC Sports Network and MyND TV.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you can watch, you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
This is an opportunity for a lot of coaches to come in and scout some high school talent here at the 2nd annual Sneakers for Center event on the ISC Sports Network and MyND TV. We saw Butler men's basketball coach LaVal Jordan here earlier today, but if you're unfamiliar with Sneakers for Santa, we'll let you know the real cause for this event, helping those in need this holiday season. The schools, teams, and fans of all those participating in Sneakers for Santa have been collecting donations for new or gently used shoes for children in their community. All of the shoes collected are being donated to Samaritan's Feet. Incredible day of basketball, but the real reason we have this event is just as incredible, getting the shoes for those who are in need. Along with Mike Broughton, I'm John Herrick, and the rest of the fine crew on the ISC Sports Network. Mike, I know you've been here today watching some basketball as well. The winners of the games leading up to this, Brownsburg, Gary, Hammond, and then the last one, Linton Stockton. What a day we've had of basketball.
Yeah, Linton Stockton, for a 2A school, they look great. I mean, they look like they were in mid-season form, and coach's son, Hart, very good player, very good shooter. And that was a little bit of surprise. I thought Attic's quickness would bother him, but it really didn't.
just can't do anything about good old-fashioned defense sometimes. And sometimes you can shoot over it, but if the shots aren't falling, that makes things difficult.
Well, it really did, and Linton played a 2-3 zone most of the game, and Addicks had trouble finding their shot. And then the Nunn kid on the inside's a good player, but he was doubled most of the day. And it looked like Addicks in the first half kind of had control of things, but boy, the second half, Hart and they just really played well. A lot of unselfish, easy layups, easy baskets, and then at the end, they held the ball well, got fouls, and made their free throws. So it was a really good game. That was the one I kind of walked in on, and so I'm really looking forward to this one. And then, seeing Lawrence North, the Heritage Christian, and then, of course, seeing Cathedral. I don't know much about Brush, Ohio, but looking forward to seeing Cathedral. I think probably talent-wise, and again, being the all-star director, I wander around a lot and watch a lot of teams. I think talent-wise, the best two teams in the state are Cathedral and Carmel.
When you look at Carmel, they have been one of those teams that have had a lot of experience. They have 5 seniors and 8 juniors on their varsity roster. Yes, we're going to see a lot of maybe some of their JV kids in the coming years, but everybody on this roster is an upperclassman. That's not always the case, and we've seen some, especially when we've had this tournament, seen a lot of youth so far.
Yeah, there's some youth on, like Linton Stockton's team. The Gary team had some youth. Hammond had some youth, but I don't really think so much in this type of game. And then, of course, Cathedral's got some youth, but like their younger players are 6'11", so, it makes up for it a little bit.
Homestead so far 2-1 on the season, and coming off of a win against Warsaw. They are averaging 58 points a game, but they are allowing 53. Carmel scoring 51 points a game and allowing 40. So one thing that stands out to me about that is that Carmel seems to have the slight edge defensively, and it was their defense that helped them win the state championship last year, especially with what they did in that overtime state championship game against Lawrence North. I know you and I were both there for that one.
Right. Well, it just depends on Carmel, how they get off start on Lawyer. How did they hold him early? Does Lawyer, Lawyer's shooting about 38%, which is low for him. So does he get off today and hit some shots early and get some confidence, or does Carmel's defense kind of stymie him? And then on the other end, Carmel until last night hasn't shot the ball very well at all. But last night, again, Orem and them really got off and shot the ball really well.
But the other thing, too, to keep in mind as well, I love the month of December for basketball in Indiana. And the reason why, you have tournaments or you have showcases like this where you have teams from lower classes play teams from upper classes to see just how much they can compare to one another. And, of course, this helps them get better and prepare for the postseason, which is down the road.
Yeah, there's not a lot of difference between the top 2A and 3A teams and then the 4A, maybe one of the top 10. I mean, there's not as much difference as people think. Now, there probably is a purpose for class basketball, but the thing about it is if you have 4 or 5 guys that can play the game of basketball, then you're going to be competitive whatever class you're in.
Starting lineups about to be announced for both teams. And how about the jerseys on both these teams? Awfully sharp.
Yeah, they look really good. They look at the size of the two teams. It looks like almost a Division II type team out on the floor for both squads. So it's a high-level game. There's high-level players, and that's why you see so many college coaches here. There's a lot of D1s as well as some D2 coaches here today.
Homestead Spartan fans to your screen right behind their bench. Kyron Kalpwicki is one of the starters. He's averaging 3 points and 4 rebounds a game. Also Grant Leeper, 6'7" junior forward, averaging 3 points, 4 rebounds. Brady Swing, 5'4" senior forward. Watch him out there. He can shoot 50% from the outside. Fletcher Lawyer as well. And then looks like Andrew Leeper is the 5th member of the starting lineup, averaging 9 points and 5 rebounds a game. Those are the Homestead Spartans, led by Chris Johnson, who has 454 career wins all time as the coach. Sam Orrin, look at him, averaging 12 points and 4 rebounds early in the season. Josh Wack averaging 6.5, 2 rebounds, but also 3 steals defensively. Burke Weldy, a 6-foot senior guard. Charlie Williams, the 6'10 senior, coming off the 23-point performance last night. And then Pete Suter, who is a 6'5 senior guard, averaging 14 points and 6 rebounds, shooting 50% from 3. He is 100% at the free throw line, too. And starting it off for Carmel, Charlie Williams jumping it up against Andrew Leeper. Sneakers for Santa event, game number 5 of 7. Mike Broughton with me. I'm John Herrick. Thank you for joining us from Brownsburg High School. Your referees for today's game, Chris Shields, Ryan Carroll, and Jeff Cottrell. Carmel wins the tip. We are underway in game 5 as the defending 4A state champions move left to right on your screen in white. Homestead defending in blue. Pete Suter trying to get something going. Homestead coming out in their man-to-man.
Very physical play on the inside.
Williams dumping it down, losing it, and jump ball.
That's good defensive stand by Homestead. Carmel was running out of a 2-1-2 set. A lot of back screens, and Homestead played it well. They scouted pretty well here the first possession.
Burke Weldy lost control of it, and Homestead put the pressure on right away. Fletcher Lawyer brings it up.
You got whack on him, which is going to be fun to watch on the TV screen, especially here.
Kalpwicki in trouble in the corner, needs help. Gets it out of there. Up with the 3, it's Lawyer, and that one doesn't go down for him. So that's a win if you're Carmel's defense forcing that early miss from the Purdue commit.
Yeah, that was about a 25-foot shot, off balance in the corner, and again, Wack, one of the best defenders in the state. And here, Homestead comes out in a 1-2-2 3/4 court press, trying to slow Carmel down here and getting the ball up the court.
Carmel able to get it up the court, but it was an adventure. Wack has an opening. Wack with the floater. Offline, Lawyer the rebound. Calling for it in the post is Leeper. Couldn't quite get it to him, though. Leeper comes out to get it with Williams on him. Lawyer with the drive and the score. Fletcher Lawyer gets on the board first with that score, and an early timeout called by Carmel. This is a 30-second timeout, so Ryan Osborne, the head coach for the Greyhounds, not happy with that. At the IndyCard Exchange, they're actively buying collections from all eras of sports cards. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram, or go to IndyCardExchange.com for more information and to see how you can make money off of your collection. So, Mike, early timeout there by Carmel. What are they talking about there?
Well, that time on Lawyer, there was a little screen, and he got away from Wack, and then no one came to help, and there was actually 3 guys standing there for Carmel. No one cut off the baseline, and Lawyer just laid it in, and I think that got Coach Osborne kind of fired up there, and so he called an early timeout. That's very uncharacteristic when you have a kid beat 3 Carmel players defensively.
And that's precisely why Osborne probably not very happy. And Homestead comes out with that press on the defensive side. Williams, though, good look, just lipped out for him. And the Spartans quickly on the move.
Excellent defense by both teams right now. I mean, this is 4A basketball, and there's no easy passes and there's no easy shots.
Try to get it down on the block there. Kalpwicki saw Leeper posting up, sent it wide and out of play. Homestead with their first turnover. Each team has turned it over once.
Early in the season in December, usually your defense is better than your offense, which has proven the case here for both teams.
Wack trying to create, and Carmel has to get it back out. Williams calling for it in the post. Now he has no room. Wack gets a screen from Williams. Good defense by Leeper on him. Wack Again, shovel pass, gets it back.
Well, you got 3 players there. You got Williams, Orme, and Suter. They're the ones that have to score the ball for Carmel.
Ball knocked free, but Wack is there to pick it up. Suter run off the 3-point line, tries a 2 and hits.
That's Suter's type of shot. He had a little bit of penetration. He loves to penetrate first, and then after that he pulled up, and that's good. That was something he didn't do as well last year.
Another look at Suter's jumper.
Yeah, instead of taking it all the way to the basket, which he kind of did when he was younger, he pulled up, took that 15-foot shot. That's an improvement in his game.
Also, the referee had to warn Charlie Williams and Grant Leeper to watch it. Those two have been battling in the post early on in this one.
Yeah, the way they're hanging on to each other, they're both going to foul out of the game, but it's physical off those screens.
Lawyer trying to go on Wack, not much room.
There you go, there's his first.
Looks like this might be on. Sam Warren picks up the first foul of the game. Kalpwicki inbounds. Out to Lawyer, but there's Wack running him off the 3-point line, and Lawyer hits a contested shot anyway.
Well, that time Lawyer got a double screen, got himself open, and then Wack closed on him, but then Lawyer shot faked and had the open look.
Wack drives, dishes. Williams has a seam and scores.
Williams has to be a part of their offense this year. Last year, he kind of relied on the rest of the team. This year, he's got to be more like he was last night with the 23 points.
Yeah, prior to that game, he was only averaging 1 point and 3 rebounds. And Wack, a little too aggressive that time. Josh Wack ends up fouling Fletcher Lawyer.
Yeah, Wack has to give him a little bit of space because Lawyer just as quick as Wack, got a little size on him, and so Wack's trying to figure him out right now. Lawyer's going to be a tough matchup.
Brady swing inbounds. Deadlocked at 4 early in this one. And that was good defense by Carmel's Burke Weldy to force him to give it up. Lawyer working on Wack. Lawyer this time turns it over. Carmel came with a double team at the right time. Then it's loose. They dodge a bullet there. Sam Warren was able to pick it up right before it went out of bounds. Now, Weldy's trapped in the corner. And Carmel might have gotten in a timeout here. They did. Tied at 4, back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
We're tied up at 4 early in this one. Along with Mike Broughton, I'm John Herrick. And Mike, not a whole lot of scoring in the first quarter, but we'll take a look at these last couple of buckets here from both teams. And even when they've scored, they haven't been easy.
Yeah, Lawyer there with the shot fake, got him open, a nice 17-foot shot. Lawyer has both of their baskets. And then on the inside, Williams, great move on the inside, left hand across the middle. And so the main guys are scoring the baskets, but this score is going to be low tonight. It's going to be in the 40s or low 50s at best.
Forum Credit Union has been helping people get their financial dreams for over 80 years with innovative products and services. Visit them today at forumcu.com. Carmel basketball. Horn gets it off the inbound. Williams calling for it in the post. Weldy has to back up, now gets it to him. Back to Weldy on the back cut. And good defense by Homestead to force him to get out of there, and it's a violation on Carmel.
See, that's a mistake in Homestead's defense, even though there's 3 seconds, because you don't want to leave Orme open. He's 50% from three. Last year he hit 50% from three. He hits threes in his sleep. And again, they dove down. Lucky they got that call.
At this rate, we may not get to 40.
It's going to be rough. It is going to be rough. Now, see, they switched at the timeout. Suter's got Lawyer now, so they gave Wack a break. And so
Lawyer drives in and couldn't get it. Rebounded by Orne. Wack is still in the game. He just had it, gave it up to Orne for three, and Sam Orne.
I'll tell you what, he's a guy that you really got to guard this year for Carmel, because he has improved every year, and his three-point is unbelievable.
He had 4 3-pointers on Friday night, averaging 44% from three-point range. Lawyer trying to go on Suter, cannot. Grady Swing tries to open some things up. Deep three by Lawyer. We've seen him make it from out there, but not this time.
That was a rush shot that time. Lawyer working hard for his shot, but he has to have patience. Too far out.
Wack is the one who's got it out between the rings with Kalpwicki on him. Less than 2 minutes to play in the first. Suter nearly lost it, but got it back. Wack open for three. He tries it. And the rebound by Kalpwicki. Lawyer on the attack, pushes it up to a cutting leaper who couldn't finish. Ball batted around, and Carmel's Spencer White picks it up, then threw it away. Spencer White, the first Carmel sub into the game at the last timeout. All alone for three, and there's a foul. Kalpwicki was open, then he got hit on the arm.
Well, Homestead's going to have to find someone else to score but Lawyer, because Lawyer, again, is being chased constantly by Carmel. So somebody else to step up. Wide open shot, and that's a bad mistake by Suter right there, fouling a three-point shooter. Suter knows better than that. That was a tough one, but gives somebody else a chance to score for Homestead.
WGU Indiana is the state's fully accredited online university, offering more than 60 bachelor's and master's degrees in business, teaching, nursing, and IT. WGU Indiana exists to create pathways to opportunity for Hoosiers with its flexible model designed to meet you where you are in life and at a fraction of the cost of a traditional four-year university. Visit WGU.edu to start your journey towards degree completion. WGU Indiana, the University of You. Kalpwicki gets 3 free throws, hits the first 2 and the third to tie us up at 7. And Kalpwicki checks out.
Well, maybe one of them will make 10 by the quarter, but it's every shot, again, it's a fun game to watch if you love defense.
Push from behind. Tucker Day, 6'7" sophomore forward, is in the game, and he's the one who. And so Day picks up Homestead's first foul. They have 1 foul. Carmel has 3 team fouls so far in the first half. This time an offensive foul is called on the Greyhounds.
Good job by both teams being prepared for this game. I'm sure they had it marked on their calendar, and both teams doing a great job defensively guarding.
White just got his first. That's the 4th on Carmel. Less than a minute to play. Homestead tries to get the lead. Lawyer through the lane. Might have gotten grabbed. Floated it up and in anyway.
Good shot by Lawyer. Got fouled. Still made the basket.
He has 6 of Homestead's 9 points. Carmel very content to hold for the last shot here. Man in there defensively for Homestead, Ifeanyi Izakudo. He came in at the last dead ball, and Izakudo reaches in and fouls him across the arm. 6-foot senior guard picks up his first. That is the second on Homestead.
I'm glad you said his name first before I did. I was looking at that. I think I had that. I think I'd have said it the same way, but I'm glad you said it.
One of us is going to have to eventually. Whack on the give and go with Williams, floats it up, had it partially altered by Izakudo, and that does it for the first quarter. 2-point lead for Homestead as we head to quarter number 2 on the ISC Sports Network and My Indy TV.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
And look who's in the house for this second annual Sneakers for Santa event. Purdue men's basketball coach Matt Painter. You and I talked about him in the pregame, Mike. His team's going to be #1 on Monday, and of course he's getting a good look at Fletcher Lawyer, his 6'4" senior guard who already has 6 of Homestead's 9 points. You know he's going to be fired up to get him in West Lafayette.
Well, not only that, but he just made last week the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame for his play when he was with Delta back in the day.
And in typical Matt Painter fashion, was very humble about it. Thought he was undeserving, but he, as we know, very deserving. As Spencer White loses that one out of play. Homestead's defense really stifling Carmel. That's their 3rd turnover.
Well, I think Homestead has played. I think they played harder in this game than they did a year ago. I mean, they are really playing hard.
Izakudo working his way in on Suter. Ball lost. Looked like Lawyer had it taken away by Josh Wack, and Suter comes up with it. Each team has turned it over 3 times. There's Williams battling forward in the post. Gets it. Double comes immediately. And tied up. Jump ball. Possession arrow with Homestead.
Good job by Homestead doubling that play when the ball went to the inside, because they're giving up a lot of size to Williams on the inside. Good job by Homestead. It's hard to double team and not foul, and they did that well.
Grant Leeper comes back in for Homestead to replace Tucker Day. Wack is back on to guard Lawyer. And a little too aggressive there by Jared Bonds, 6'5" junior forward for Carmel, averaging 1 point, 2 rebounds a game off the bench. That's his first and the 5th on Carmel in this first half. Izakudo, shadowed by Suter. Ball tipped free, but out of bounds. Last touch by Sam Orn.
You know, these teams are so well coached because the players know who should shoot, who shouldn't shoot, and who we need to try to get the basketball to. Both teams on offense doing a great job passing the ball to the scorers.
Max Schiltz inbounds, newcomer into the game for Homestead, 6-foot senior guard, averaging 2 points, 4 rebounds a game. Izakudo almost made it look easy, but then Charlie Williams came over at the last second to block that shot. Suter goes galloping down the lane, can't finish. Offensive rebound, put back, does not go, but a foul as Carmel heading to the line here with Sam Orn getting 2 free throws.
Well, that's the first time on retreating on defense that Homestead wasn't ready to defend the penetration as Suter went all the way to the basket, missed the layup, but good rebound by Williams.
Orne has 4 points to lead Carmel, 4 of their 8. We've been tied at 4 and at 7. Now we're tied again at 9. Spencer White back into the game. He replaces Charlie Williams. So a bit of a smaller lineup out there on the floor for Carmel. How do you think that might change things?
I think it's going to be okay as long as they have Orme and Suter in there. They can still rebound the basketball. And again, the key is just can they handle Homestead's penetration and Lawyer.
Schultz lost it, but somehow got it back. It's like a foul away from the ball here. It's on Jared Bonds.
That Grant Leaper, he is physical for Homestead. He is just seeking contact, and a big, strong kid. Yeah, you can watch this on the inside. I mean, he posts up, Leaper posts up great down on the inside. There's nothing Bonds could do.
He just got his second foul, so he's got to be careful. 6 fouls on Carmel, 3 on Homestead. Lawyer, another try, doesn't go, and this time it's going against Homestead. Grant Leaper picking up the foul. The Carmel fans with the bit of a sarcastic applause. And for Carmel, they just put back in Burke Weldy, and Bonds goes back to the bench with those 2 fouls.
Well, we're going to break 10 here in a little bit. Even this.
Some point it'll happen.
9-9. Both teams playing great defense.
Suter on the attack, gets knocked down. He's heading to the line for a pair. And this is the guy you want on the line if you are Carmel.
Yeah, Suter that time was seeking his shot. He needs to do more of that. He needs to score the ball more for Carmel this year. They're down really to 3 guys that's going to score the ball. He's got to drive it to the basket.
Cal Pwicki picks up the foul. That's his first, the 5th on Homestead. Suter going over to the bench. I wonder if he's got, oh, blood, that's why. Blood on his left arm, so they've got to figure that out. See, this is, when a trainer, and having someone over on the training staff being able to patch something up real quick really matters.
Yep, it sure does. And he must have got a fingernail or something in his arm, and maybe that's why they called the foul. It's a pretty good gash, though, looking at it here on TV. So it looked like it was like a knife fight. And then he's got some on his uniform, so that's got to come off. And so it's good. It's good you have the trainers. It's good you have people that can help out.
Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Main Street Barber Shop in Carmel. Proud to support the Greyhounds in tonight's game. Main Street Barber Shop is just down the street from Carmel High School in the Arts and Design District in Carmel. There's no appointment necessary. Main Street Barber Shop, a traditional barber shop for the modern family. Might be in trouble if this continues to keep bleeding, and they're going to have to take Suter out of the game. Yeah.
And then the good part for Carmel is you have Orme. Let's see, was it Orme or Williams? One of them was sitting on the bench, and so they could come in and shoot his free throws, because if Suter can't shoot him, somebody on the bench has to shoot him, and of course Williams gets to come back in the game. So it's a plus for the free throws, but Suter needs to be back.
Williams was 2 for 2 on the season from the free throw line before that miss.
It was interesting. It just kept his situation there. Suter just kept bleeding there. They were having trouble stopping him.
We talked about how physical the game could be in the pregame, and that has proven to be true. And I think that whole incident with Suter is great evidence as to why. Coach Ryan Osborne looking over there going, when can he get back out? Shot doesn't quite go. Rebounded by Leaper in traffic with Williams on him. He misses. Skying for the rebound, Sam Orne. And Orne looks to push right away. Whack through traffic. And Carmel slows it down like they don't mind to do. Now Williams is open.
They're looking to Williams or Orme inside.
Williams called for traveling, yes. The defense was outstanding. You know what I've also noticed too in this game, Mike? Nobody seems to allow the baseline.
No, the baseline got allowed once by Lawyer early in the game, and they called a timeout. They were upset with it, so it's tough inside. See, that's where Homestead's got to really start going to the leapers. The two leapers are physical inside, and nice pass to the inside. They're going to have to score some points in order to beat Carmel.
Andrew and Grant leaper.
So there's a nice play on the inside. Both leapers are physical. Both leapers can score it inside. They got to get them the ball.
But he can't get the free throw to go down. He's 4 of 8 at the free throw line this year is Andrew Leeper. But he does give Homestead the lead again. Thank you for joining us. Sneakers for Santa, along with Mike Broughton. I'm John Herrick on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV. Traveling violation called on Carmel. That is against Sam Orn. Carmel's turned it over now 5 times. And Suter appears to be ready to go back into the game. But he's going to have to wait a little bit until the next dead ball.
Well, you can see the importance of Suter with him not being in the game.
Okay, he is now, when he comes back in, he'll be wearing a different jersey because he got blood on his one that's number 5. So when he comes back in, he will be wearing number 32. And he's got that wound of his patched up with some, looks like black bandage. Lawyer, tough shot, rattles it around and in.
Nice shot by Lawyer. That time he drove Wack, got a little bit of space. He was able to bump him enough, bump him off, and get that shot on the baseline.
So Homestead has scored the last 4 points to increase their lead to 3.
See, without Suter, they don't really have an outside presence that can drive the ball. They have Orem, who can stand and shoot, and they got Williams on the inside, but they need Suter to make that penetration.
White getting a screen from Williams, but the defense doesn't allow him to get there. Pass gets tipped. Wack comes up with it. Wack to the basket and scoops it in.
Good job by Wack that time to get Carmel back going again, because it was a rough patch there for 2 or 3 minutes.
Josh Wack with his first basket. You think he sometimes is a little bit shy about taking that shot?
Yeah, I think so, but I mean, he's an unselfish guy, and he's been told where to get the basketball too, and he tries his best, but he also can score it some.
Lawyer from deep, and Wack the rebound.
I think Wack has to defend so much that that's his concentration. That's where he puts most of his effort.
Fouled from behind. Lawyer picks up his first. So what was a pretty clean first quarter with the fouls has now become a pretty big foul fest here in the second quarter. And so now looking at this timeout. We're staying here though. So Suter is wearing 50. So he was wearing 5, got blood on his jersey, then went to 32. I guess that was an issue because there was already another number 32 for Carmel, that being Daniel Mack. So they had to give him a jersey that wasn't occupied by another varsity player. So now he is wearing number 50. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender, Indiana's hometown mortgage lender for all of your home purchase and refinance needs. Contact Bailey & Wood at 317-535-4804. Pretty good crowd here at Brownsburg. Look at the cheerleaders and also a look at these last 2 buckets, Mike.
There's Lawyer bumping Wack enough to get an open look, or at least a semi-open look along the baseline. And then a nice pass across, Wack driving the ball to the basket. Homestead defense broke down. Nice layup, especially without Suter in the game.
But do you also think, too, it looks like they were maybe surprised that Wack was driving, because sometimes it's either he shoots that shot or he likes to just pass it up.
Yeah, I think they were surprised, but again, you're in help position and you skip it to the other side of the court. People come running at him, and Wack knew enough he could drive, and Wack's got good quickness, and you know, I mean, he's a part of a state championship team last year, so you know, he started a year ago, and again, a lot of pressure is being put on the 3 scorers for Carmel, and then Wack's got to fill in and help out because They just don't have the experience on the bench they had the last couple years.
Pete Suter back in the game wearing number 50. Matt Painter, the Purdue men's basketball coach. Yep, you saw him on your screen. Your eyes were not deceiving you. He's here today. Suter with the fall-away jumper, and he knocks it down.
See, that's what Suter needs to do. Suter's going to have to score. He's averaging 14 a game. He needs to get it up to 18 or 19. He's got to be more selfish this year than he's been in the past.
Lawyer forced to give it up with Whack back on him. He gets knocked down by Suter. Ball tipped into the air. Tucker Day able to get an early Christmas present.
That was good defense by Carmel. Sometimes the ball didn't quite bounce your way. But again, I think this is a game where Suter's got to kind of take over.
Fourth different Homestead Spartan player to score. Williams comes up and gives Suter a screen. Back to Williams. Williams draws so many defenders on him, leads to an open three from White. And it does not go down. Looks like a hip check foul on Josh Whack. That is trouble for Carmel. Whack just picked up his second foul, and as you can tell from your screen there, Coach Ryan Osborne of Carmel not happy with that at all.
Well, I think it is a foul, though. You just can't ride him across the midcourt like that, and Whack had his hands on him, was kind of shoving him, and you'd think this is an automatic 2. I don't want to jinx him, but Lawyer's excellent free throw shooter.
He is. He shot 87% from the foul line last year. He's 81% so far this year, and he was 100% on that trip. Pushes the Homestead lead back to 3. Garway Duel into the game for the first time for Carmel. He's number 3 in white on your screen. But Josh Whack staying in there with those 2 fouls. Suter to the basket, lost it. Whack comes up to get it. Coming up on a minute left. 3 ball. Doesn't go down from White. And Duel knocks that one out of play, almost gave his team the ball back. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by LD Smith Plumbing, a proud supporter of high school basketball. Visit our website, ldsmithplumbing.com. LD Smith Plumbing, we are water's boss.
Well, Duel's from Texas. He transferred into Carmel this year and trying to learn the system, but a real good-looking athlete, long arms, and he leads the team in deflections after the first 3 games. He's around a lot of basketballs when he's in the game.
Traveling violation called on Tucker Day.
This is physical for the team, the 2 teams. They played last night, especially Homestead coming from Warsaw down here to play today. And then Carmel again played in Indianapolis. And 2 games in 2 days early in the season, you know, the kids look tired out there. The guys look tired. And so I think the first 1 to 40 wins this one.
Yeah, I think you might be right. And if you're Carmel, do you hold for the last shot here even though you're down 3?
I think you do. I think Whack's got 2 fouls. He doesn't want to get a third. And Carmel will try to look. They'll probably go with 11 or 12 seconds, and they'll try to get a shot for Williams, or they'll try to get Suter off penetration or a jump shot.
Suter found an opening and scored, plus the foul for the 6'5" senior.
That was an excellent play by Suter that time. I think they would have gone last second shot, but Suter, he showed that fake. Both Homestead people went with the fake, and Suter went right around the corner. Bad defense by Homestead on that particular play. But looks like he'd be able to tie the game up with this free throw.
And he left it short. Rebound, grabbed by Day. Homestead has some time to work with. Leaper up the floor. Leaper turns on the Jets and scores off the window. Right before the horn sounds, Andrew Leaper with a big basket to give the Homestead Spartans a 3-point lead heading into the locker room. Our halftime show comes up when we return. We take you to break with this last play by Leaper on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, And I just want to say, welcome back.
This is game time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going to
before.
happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
At the half of this one, it is the Homestead Spartans, ranked number 5 in Class 4A, leading the 4th-ranked team in 4A, Carmel, 19-16. Earlier today, the Sneakers for Santa, it was Brownsburg edging Plainfield 44-43. Gary 21st Century all over Tuscola, Illinois, 80-59. Hammond Central beats Fort Wayne Northside 64-48. And in the game prior to this, Linton Stockton knocking off Crispus Attucks 58-46. The first half highlights and much more to come your way right after this. You're watching the Sneakers for Santa on the ISC Sports Network and MyIndy TV.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. So many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Homestead with the early 3-point lead on Carmel in this one. Second half moments away, along with Mike Broughton. I'm John Herrick from Brownsburg High School for the Sneakers for Santa event. Pretty good crowd on hand here. Let's relive some of the first half highlights. And Mike, it was Fletcher Lawyer who got this team going as usual.
Yeah, they really try to get Lawyer the ball. He's an offensive threat anytime he gets inside 25 feet. And on the other end, you got Suter, who can do the same thing for Carmel. He's been a 2-time state champion. And again, Lawyer there with the shot fake. And that's why he's going Division I, because there's not many guys in the country that can do that right there.
But then Carmel got back into things a little bit. Pete Suter leads the way with 6 points, 5 for Sam Orn, 3 for Charlie Williams, 2 for Josh Wack. And Williams a little bit neutralized today. Looks like Homestead knew, okay, he scored 23 Friday night. We got to find a way to body him up defensively.
Well, the two Leaper brothers can kind of bang on him a little bit on the inside and push him out of positions. But there again, Orem, he can hit the three, and then Suter's your penetration. And so Carmel's going to be fine by the end of the season. They got really 4 of their guys back, and they just got to fit that 5th position and get a couple subs. And again, on the Homestead part, Homestead's playing hard. I mean, they're, I think, the 25-0 record with getting beat by Carmel, I think it bothers them, so they're playing really hard today.
Carmel won that game in the regional round last year over Homestead 61-48. Fletcher Lawyer, the Purdue commit, leads the way with 10 points for Homestead, 4 for Andrew Leeper, 3 for Kyron Kalpwicki, and 2 for Tucker Day. And of course, Fletcher Lawyer's future college coach, Purdue men's basketball coach Matt Painter, has been here watching. Of course, before that, Laval Jordan, the Butler coach, was here as well. So a lot of really big-time college coaches here watching their high school talent. There's Matt Painter. This is one of the rare times, Mike, that Matt Painter hasn't had somebody near him wanting to pick his brain about something.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's a pretty important guy around Indiana this time. I mean, it's amazing that Purdue, I've watched him for years, and when I heard the other day that this would be the first time that Purdue's ever been #1 come Monday, and that's pretty neat. I mean, I know IU did it with Nike some, but for Purdue to do it, and especially have those Final Four teams and everything else, they've had quite a run over the last 40 years.
The second half comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now, because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Homestead leading Carmel 19-16. The second half moments away on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV. Along with Mike Broughton, I'm John Herrick. Thank you for joining us for the second annual Sneakers for Center event at Brownsburg High School. The real cause for this event, helping those in need this holiday season. The schools, teams, and fans of all those participating in Sneakers for Santa have been collecting donations for new or gently used shoes for children in their community, and all the shoes collected are being donated to Samaritan's Feet. All right, second half coming up here, Mike. You look at both teams. What does Carmel need to do to adjust and find a way to put the ball in the basket more?
Well, I think Suter's going to have a better second half, penetrating. I mean, he had a good first half. He doesn't shoot enough. He's going to have to shoot the basketball more and then set other players up, because they're afraid he's going to score. get Orem open looks, and then get Williams in the inside. And then on the Homestead part, they got to get the ball inside to the two leapers. I know they're looking for Lawyer, but the thing about it is his shots are so hard that they got to get the ball inside to the two bigs.
Starting five for Homestead out there: Fletcher Lawyer, Kyron Kalpwicki, Grady Swing, Andrew and Grant Leeper. And for Carmel, Josh Wack, Pete Suter, Sam Orn, Burke Weldy, Charlie Williams. Orn dumps it down to Williams right away, and Williams converts from in close.
That was a nice play, a little pick-the-picker type play on the inside. Got it right inside, layup. Good start by Carmel.
Homestead is the team in blue on your screen. Carmel is in white. Pete Suter normally wears number 5. He is wearing 50 now because he got a cut on his left arm that got blood on his number 5 jersey.
See, I think in these type of games, these first 3 or 4 minutes of the third quarter are really important. Can somebody make a run, break the game to 7, 8 points, 6 points, and have a good chance for the victory?
Leeper tries to weave through traffic and knocks down a tough shot around Sam Orn somehow.
Yeah, Leeper's starting to get with it, both of them. They're physical, and they're starting to get it. And there's Suter doing what he needs to do. They didn't really call no foul, and it was physical inside.
But the hit ball somehow bounced off of his shoe, and yet Carmel keeps possession. Williams calling for it, but then the double comes right away. Out of there to Suter for 3. Or rather, Suter got the rebound off the miss from Weldy. Now Weldy tries to drive, and Weldy able to finger roll it in.
Good shot by Weldy. He's not going to score it much. He's trying to do his part defensively and pass the basketball.
Lawyer trying to get his second half basket, his first one that is, but Wack has been on him defensively. Fletcher Lawyer averaging 30 points a game, has 10. That one knocked free and collision. Just 2 guys going for it, nothing more than that. Sam Orn says, hey, that's all I was doing. And it ends up being Carmel basketball after all that because it went off Leeper. And
great job by by Williams or Orem, and then they all went into the stands right there. And of course, Mr. McRoberts stopped them. So an ex-NBA player, he knows what physical play is like.
Yes, he is. Yes, he does. They actually called a foul on Andrew Leeper. Okay, so that's his first in the second half on Homestead. And Orn almost got that one to go, but it bounces out for the miss. Rebounded by Swing. And Carmel back on defense now with Homestead trying to extend their lead. Lawyer weaving his way through traffic against Wack. Somehow floated that in.
Nice job by Lawyer. He's getting fouled on a lot of the plays, but they're not calling too many fouls in there. It's kind of more like a summer game here.
And right back, Burke Welty, after having no points in the first half. He has 5 here in the second to tie this game up.
Sometimes you make one, then you think you can make another one.
Lawyer's made a lot of these, but not this time. Rebound, fought for, a lot of contact. The shot goes up and they count it, plus the foul. What a basket for Grant Leeper.
Now that's a physical play in there by Grant Leeper. He took 2 Carmel guys, out-rebound both of them, and here it is. And then he really took it up strong against 3 guys. There was a 3rd guy in there and got the roll.
Could have called it on any one of them, but they end up getting Charlie Williams, who just got his first.
Big time basket there. That was a 4A rebound.
And also, that was a big free throw make for Grant Leeper because prior to that, Grant was 2 of 7 on the season from the free throw line.
Well, I like Carmel while they came out in the third quarter. They're really trying to drive the ball to the basket. They got a lot of movement. And, of course, Williams is now, I think Williams is out of the game now, I believe. So they're going to be a little smaller. They get a little more movement without Williams in the game.
Yep, they just called Weldy for an offensive foul. That is his first, team's second here in the second half. Homestead outscored Carmel 9-7 in the first quarter, 10-9 in the second, and they lead it by 3. Lawyer has to give it up. Kalpwicki with a nice behind the back dribble, weaves his way up and somehow drops it home.
Kalwicki, that's the best move of the day for him as he was more aggressive. It looks like after halftime here, everybody loosened up, started scoring the basketball a little bit.
And he replaced Williams at the last dead ball with Spencer White. Ball deflected out. Stays with Carmel, though.
Very nice drive to the inside by Kalwicki, and he got the bounce. In fact, Homestead's got 2 bounces that have been up there last 2 baskets.
Suter. Now Wack trying to see if he can get it to Spencer White, but the ball denial has been too good there by Leeper.
If you're going to post up in this game, you got to be strong. Guys are getting knocked off the spots. I love when the officials let them play like this, though. It's the way it should be played.
Traveling violation called on Jared Bonds. And that takes us to immediate timeout. Homestead has extended their lead to 5 on the ISC Sports Network and MyIndy TV.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
The lead is 5 for Homestead, and today's broadcast brought to you in part by the Indy Card Exchange, where they're actively buying collections from all eras of sports cards. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram, or go to IndyCardExchange.com for more information and to see how you can make money off of your collection. Along with Mike Broughton, I'm John Herrick. Thank you for joining us for the Sneakers for Santa event on the ISC Sports Network and MyIndy TV. Carmel back on their heels a little bit, trailed by 3 at the half. Now they're down by 5.
Good ball reversal by Homestead. They have a lot more patience than they had a year ago. Doing a good job, kind of playing like Carmel did a year ago. They almost look identical, the 2 teams.
Which would make sense. It's been a pretty evenly matched game. Fletcher Lawyer trying to get free of Josh Wack. Now a double comes. Able to pass out of there to Kalwicki. Swing. And forced to hand it off. And now both these teams love to slow it down. So we've seen this happen throughout the game, where as soon as one team takes the lead, they want to use as much clock as they can. Lawyer loves to look for his shot. Can't find it. 3 this time. Knocked down. What a shot by Kyron Kalwicki, giving him 8 for the game.
Well, the Leapers, some of the other players besides Lawyers really picked up here in the third quarter. Kalwicki and the Leapers have done a good job.
Leeper just picked up the foul there. That is his 3rd.
See, what's so great about this play for Homestead, not only did he make the shot, but they passed 11 times to get the shot. And that just wore Carmel's defense down. They got wide open look. If you have enough patience, you're going to get it. The score's up in the 30s now, so teams have been scoring the ball here in the second half.
So Grant Leeper, one of the key starters for Homestead. He has 3 points today, but he just picked up his 3rd foul. So Tucker Day, 6'7" sophomore forward, off the bench to replace him. Day with 2 points in this one. Williams back in. He tries to get it in the post, gives it up, and Fletcher Lawyer gets a big steal for the Spartans.
Good play by Lawyer that time. Now they need patience again. Can Homestead be patient enough to look for the open look?
Kalwicki lifted out.
That is not what you want to do. That is not what you want to do against Carmel.
And a 3 on the right side does not go from Sam Orn. Rebounded by Grady swing.
So you're down to 138, third quarter. They need to really get a good look, get the ball inside the leaper, get Lawyer on a good look. A drive to the basket by one of the other players. Have patience.
This Homestead team lost to Carmel in the regional last year, 61-48. Carmel went on to win the state championship. So you know Homestead's had this game circled on their calendar all year. Tucker Day open. Put a little too much on that. Suter with the rebound and accidentally ran into his own guy. Might have a Homestead injury. It's a 5-on-4 for Carmel. They're letting play continue, and that one does not go down from Orn, but an offensive board, another chance for the Greyhounds. And it's Lawyer who's banged up, and a foul here as things get chippy between Josh Wack and Tucker Day. Day clearly, I think, fouled to give Lawyer a chance to catch his breath. Day just got his second. That is the third foul on Homestead.
I don't think Coach Osborne realized that they were just trying to kill the game. So Lawyer gets tangled up. He really fouled on the play. Then he got caught underneath another player and turned his ankle. So then the foul on the other end was Johnson trying to get the game stopped. And overall, a lot of miscommunication here. And then Lawyer's going to have to go out of the game. And so, wow.
So timeout. Since 2010, WGU Indiana has made it possible for more than 12,000 Hoosiers to earn their bachelor's or master's degrees without putting their lives on pause. Fully accredited, fully online, WGU Indiana was designed to fit your schedule and at a fraction of the cost of traditional four-year universities. In honor of its 11th anniversary, WGU Indiana is offering an $11,000 scholarship to new students pursuing degrees in business, IT, teaching, and nursing. Visit WGU.edu and click on the Tuition and Financial Aid tab to learn more. WGU Indiana, the University of You. So that will be something to monitor for the rest of the game. How is Fletcher Lawyer's ankle going to hold up? Well, he goes back to the bench, and now he's kind of hopping out on the floor with it. Into the game for the first time in the second half for Homestead is Max Schultz.
Well, they were going to take Lawyer out. The trainer went over there, and Lawyer said no. So he just wants to get back out there.
Charlie Williams was triple teamed out to a three-point shooting Burke Weldy, who was way off. Tucker Day comes out of there with it. 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
Now this is one shot. If Homestead plays this correctly, they need to get a look with start with 10 or 11 seconds. Try to get the last shot of the quarter. Be up 8 or more if they make the shot. So here we go.
Lawyer's got 12 points to lead the way for Homestead. Now also back in there for them, Ifeanyi Izakudo. Lawyer, tough shot in the lane, put a little too much on it, rebounded by Williams. He can't get a shot off in time. And at the end of 3, Homestead leading Carmel by 8. You're watching the Sneakers for Santa event on the ISC Sports Network and MyIndy TV.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Homestead trying to close things out as we head to the fourth quarter. Indiana State University is devoted to helping more students achieve education without compromise because a world-class college experience should be in reach for everyone, and it is at Indiana State University. Along with Mike Broughton, I'm John Herrick. There is Fred Jones, former Indiana Pacer. We've seen also Purdue men's basketball coach Matt Painter here. We've seen Butler coach Laval Jordan, and a backcourt violation called on Fletcher Lawyer. I think he thought he had more room to work with, and he did not.
Yeah, that was a big mistake by Homestead right there. I couldn't really tell because you can't tell in the middle of the court where that line's at exactly. So.
And Homestead's played a pretty clean game. Only 4 turnovers to this point. Suter comes flying up to get it. Now he's one-on-one with Lawyer. Charlie Williams back to work, trying to drive on Day. Day forces him to give it up. Spencer White out to Whack for a 3, and a much-needed basket for Carmel. They get it from the 6'1 senior.
Now that's why they're state champion, and that's why they got 4 starters back, because they know how to play in the stretch run. So here we go.
Izakudo dribbles back the other way for Homestead. Fletcher Lawyer, the Purdue commit, only 2 points in the second half. But he's going to the line. He's fouled by Josh Whack, and Whack is frustrated. Part of the reason he is, not just because he fouled Lawyer, but he just picked up his 3rd.
Whack's wide open. They're trying to double Williams on the inside and then playing Suter straight up, and so there's an extra guy wide open, and Whack's got to do that when he's open.
Lawyer bounces in the first.
Lawyer scored 13 today, and those have been a tough 13. I mean, he's had to work. Whack's done a good job. Suter tried to guard him for a while, and I think Suter has to score the ball, so you can't just wear him out on defense. He guarded him for a couple minutes, but it's been mainly Whack.
Lawyer now 4 of 4 at the line. They might have some blood or sweat or something on the court. While we have a moment, we'll remind you that today's broadcast brought to you in part by LD Smith Plumbing, a proud supporter of high school basketball. Visit their website, ldsmithplumbing.com. LD Smith Plumbing, we are water's boss.
Well, they got right now, Suter's being guarded by this Max Slitz, and he's done a great job he's given up some size. But Suter really hadn't got any good looks again for the last 4 or 5 minutes. And I think in order for them to win the game, Suter's got to score some points.
Suter has not scored in the second half. He has 6 points, but 4 of those came in the second quarter. Driving, shooting, and missing is Sam Orn. And Homestead tries to capitalize with Schultz back the other way. And Suter ends up fouling him. That's his second. And that is team foul number 4 on Carmel in the second half. Homestead has 3. Schultz having trouble getting it in. And 5-second violation. By the time the head coaching staff at Homestead stood up to call a timeout, it was too late.
Well, that's where they were worried about the 10-second line, and Lawyer should have made a hard cut to the basketball, not just running to the back court. And Carmel did a good job denying the ball, so tough mistake right there. Hadn't been many turnovers in this game.
Grant Leeper comes back in to replace Tucker Day. Suter going to work. He's fouled by Izakudo, 6-foot senior guard.
Izakudo's got the strength to play Suter, but he just doesn't have the size, so he got back down that time a little bit off penetration. But next couple of minutes is important for Carmel. They got to put some points on the board here.
Suter trying to go baseline. White. Lawyer tried to get the offensive foul call. It did not. Referee pointing at the floor. This looks like it's staying on this end, and Charlie Williams got fouled. That is on Grant Leeper. That is a big call because Grant Leeper just got his 4th.
That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt Homestead, but I guess they're not going to take him out.
Nope, they're not. They're leaving him in there. Max Schultz and Ifeanyi Izakudo leave.
I doubt if he'll finish this game the way things are going.
Kyron Kalpwicki and Andrew Leeper back in for the Spartans, who have led the entire second half. They took the lead late in the second quarter, and then pushed their lead to 3 by the half and have built on it ever since. That shot is waved off. Suter got knocked down. They're calling this on Andrew Leeper. That is his second. And that is the 6th on Homestead, so one more foul by them puts Carmel in the bonus.
Good offensive possessions here by Carmel. They're really gritting it out, really, trying to get the ball to Orem, Williams. Suter doing some good screening, trying to get the shot. They're working hard, but Homestead's doing a great job defensively.
Suter. Williams gets him free for a second, leans in for 2. Leeper the rebound, and he's fouled by Orn.
See, now that's a shot Suter's got to make. They worked about 45 seconds, got a nice 10-footer and just didn't go in, and that's a shot he'll make later in the season, but he didn't here today so far.
Carmel scored 16 points in the first half. They have only managed to get 10 in the second half. These are two of the best defensive teams in the state, and Lawyer goes flying back and makes a nice offensive play.
That's why he's Division I right there. Like I said earlier, that's a tough basket right there.
16 for Fletcher Lawyer. Biggest lead of the day for Homestead at 9. Long shot by Orn off target. Williams, the offensive rebound. White this time. And the rebound by Kalpwicki.
They just haven't been able. They've got open looks. Carmel's got plenty of open looks, just haven't been able to shoot the basketball. Now here's Homestead's got to have patience. They got to get the ball to Lawyer. Got to do work on the inside. And there's an illegal screen. So just when they have a 9-point lead, could have gone to double digits. That's just a physical play, a drive to the inside, and he took on a 6'10" guy and won. So Lawyer, good play.
So Grady Swing just got his second foul with that offensive. 17 fouls now on Homestead, but since it was an offensive foul, no free throws in the bonus yet for Carmel.
Looked like they didn't call any fouls for a while. Now they're calling a lot of them. So the game's kind of changing here in the fourth quarter.
Whack leaves it for Williams. He's shadowed by Leeper. Fight for the rebound. Whack comes down and gets it. Suter on the move, lost it out of play. Did it get poked out? Nope, he just lost it.
Well, they forced Suter to go left, and they had good help. And so, again, you better be strong taking it to the inside in this game. That's some physical play because he was kind of being hand-checked, and I guess it didn't really matter.
Carmel now bringing up intensity in the backcourt.
2-2-1 press. Lawyer broke it pretty much by himself. So now here, can we have patience? Get us a good shot on the Homestead end.
And Lawyer just blows by Suter for the layup.
Yep, he just took him to the basket. They isolated him on the right side of the basket. Great play by Lawyer.
And Carmel elects to call a timeout. It is a full one. We'll take it with them. 37-26 after this bucket by Lawyer on the ISC Sports Network and MyIndy TV.
I am Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And, of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Get a quote, and it might get you a ticket. Get a quote from the Ryan Owens Agency of Allstate Insurance on the south side of Indy, and you'll be entered into a monthly drawing for a college hoops experience with Ryan Owens and Greg Rakestraw going to some of the top college games across the state. Search for the Owens Agency on Facebook or call 317-802-1550 to find out how you can win by getting great rates on all of your insurance. Carmel has only managed to score 10 points in the second half.
I still believe they'll come back in this game. I don't know if they're going to win the game, but I think they have a run in them here in the last 4 minutes. They're just too good a team not to have a run.
Suter tries to give him that run, but had a shot rejected by Leeper. But Cal Pwicky's in trouble on the baseline, and his head coach, Chris Johnson, steps up and calls a 30-second timeout. But Homestead leading by 11, and what have you seen, Mike, them do, particularly on defense, to just stifle Carmel the way they have?
Well, they put a defender on Suter where he hadn't been able to drive it very well, and they switched those defenders. It's been Slits, it's been Orwicki, it's been 2 or 3 different guys. Then on the inside, when Williams cuts to the inside and he catches it, they double him right out of the gate. And that means that one of these other players like Wack or one of the other subs has to hit that open shot, and they haven't been able to do it consistently. So Orem, they've just pretty much kept a guy on him the entire game, not really trying to help. He's not been able to get himself open, and so they can only score with 3 guys right now, and they're going to need this 4th and 5th guy, Weldy, to step up.
Sam Oren has not scored since the second quarter, has not made a field goal since the first quarter. He has 5 points. Carmel has only managed to get 3 points in the fourth quarter.
They brought in Duell, the young man from Texas, because he's long-armed, and he's going to try to guard Lawyer, which should bother Lawyer if he stays in front of him.
Yeah, Garway Duell's number 3 in white on your screen.
See, right
and that
there,
forced a turnover.
Yeah, you got Duell at 6'6", you got Orme at 6'8". They trapped him, and they hadn't seen that kind of size. And so they went 1-3-1 full court. They dropped back into 1-3-1 half court trap. Great move by Coach Osborne. Be interesting now if they can score the ball.
Suter tries to get him going, flips it to Orn for 3, short, and the rebound. Grabbed by Leeper.
That was a big-time rebound by Leeper. There's going to be a lot of pressure the last 3 minutes. Can they handle the basketball early in the season when teams haven't really prepared for 1-3-1 traps and things like that?
Both teams 2-1, coming off wins Friday night. Lawyer out of the left side, bullseye. Fletcher Lawyer hits his first 3 of the game. He has 21 points. Suter to Wack. Back down on the block to Bonds. Bonds backing his way in. Wack again. Got his own rebound. Then it's blocked. But they're saying it's staying on this end with a foul coming up on Homestead.
Good rebounding by Carmel, but again, they've missed maybe 8-9 shots in a row. And it's hard when they start missing the... See, that's the problem with the 1-3-1 zone half-court trap is you don't know where Lawyer's at. So good play by Homestead.
Full timeout called by Carmel. We'll step aside for a moment on the ISC Sports Network and MyND TV.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world.
Yeah,
the Andy and Bruno show is the one you can watch, you should watch. We have Andy, who's been there and done that. Everything.
Lawyer's made all the plays.
Is now a mogul. Yes.
And we have a guy.
He's a lot better than he was a year ago.
Then that's saying something because he was already really good.
But he didn't do this to Carmel there in the regional.
Nope, definitely not.
And they had Goody and they had
Your
Lawyer,
life is on the go.
They couldn't get this
now
done.
Your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
This continues to be a who's who of, I guess, celebrities, you could say. This is Roosevelt Colvin, former NFL player, played for the New England Patriots. His son's playing in the next game between Lawrence North and Heritage Christian. But here in this one, Carmel continues to struggle, down 14 against Homestead as Josh Wack misses from the foul line.
Now, Josh needs to make this one so they can set up the press. It's harder to set up the press with another miss. He needs to hit this second one.
He does, and to your point, they immediately set that up. Carmel has only scored 4 points in the fourth quarter. They trail by 13. Homestead has led the entire second half. They took the lead late in the second quarter after what was a back-and-forth first half for the most part, but Spartans have just played keep away, played really solid defense. Fletcher Lawyer has come alive. The Purdue commit has played well in front of his future head coach, Matt Painter, who's been in attendance. Now they're just playing keep away here.
They won't be able to hold it very long with those lob passes because Carmel's going to be able to steal one of those lob passes.
And
like
they do.
There.
And Suter fouled on the break. Carmel wants an intentional foul. They might be talking about this. The foul is on Grady Swing, which is his third, and the 9th on Homestead. And they are calling an intentional foul. They got together, they talked about it, and they decided to call it intentional. So let's get one more look at it.
Those long skip passes and then that touch, well, it was really kind of a touch foul, but it was now 2 shots for Suter, and then Carmel gets the ball. Could be a 5-point play. Or not.
Suter 0 for 2 at the line. Carmel's missed 4 free throws today.
I like that 1-3-1 half-court trap. Homestead's making a mistake. They got to drive the ball to the basket in that thing instead of making all them lob passes. They need to drive and lay a couple balls in. But Carmel has a chance to get under double figures here.
Whack. Takes some contact, kicks it out to Garway Duel. Tries to get hit first basket, could not. Lawyer, long pass up the floor, but Leaper couldn't finish. However, right there is the other Leaper, Grant Leaper for the layup.
That's what they got to do against that pressure.
Suter attacks and scores.
And that's what Suter needs to do the entire game.
Giving him 9, and Carmel uses what is their last timeout, and this is a full one. We're down to 92 seconds to play. 42-30 is the score. Advantage Homestead. Coming up on our next game, which will be on the ISC Sports Network, the last 2. Lawrence North and Heritage Christian at 6:30, then Cathedral and Brush, the team from Ohio. So even though we'll be leaving you, for those of you who are watching on MyNDTV, the ISC Sports Network will still carry the last 2 with Lawrence North and Heritage Christian, and then Cathedral and Brush, Ohio. Mike Broughton and I will have the next one between Lawrence North and Heritage Christian, and then it'll be Mike Broughton and Greg Rakestraw with you for the final game at 8:15. So Carmel has had some success now. I think they figured out with the trap defensively, and they're starting to get a little wiggle room offensively. What adjustments do they need to continue to make here?
Well, they really need to drive the ball to the basket on offense. They don't really have time to make 6-8 passes and try to get a 3 with Orem or whatever. Suter did the right thing. Now here on defense, they're going to stay in that 1-3-1 most likely. And so Homestead's got to take care of the basketball. I see some turnovers in the future if they keep lobbing the basketball up, especially with Duel on the top, because Duel has a 6'9" wingspan, and high school kids aren't used to that. That's a college look right there. That's not a high school look.
Grady Swing inbounds it. And there's a trap coming over on Kalpwicki. And this is either going to be on Duel or Whack. Those guys were both in the area. And depend on what they... It's on Duel. That is his first. 6th on Carmel.
Homestead was trying to call timeout, and one referee called a foul. The other one called the timeout. Bad place to get the ball in bounds right now, as they've got to come and get it.
Carmel has one more foul to give. Lawyer with Duel on him. Lawyer with a long pass. Fires a strike to Leaper, and Leaper finishes.
Great play by Lawyer that time to hit that diagonal pass for an easy basket.
Suter with a quick shot. Bullseye! 12 points for Suter. Carmel needs quick scores and quick stops. Lawyer bumped out of bounds by Sam Orn. Orn just picked up his 4th. So Lawyer to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. And this is exactly the guy you want on the line if you are Homestead. An 81% free throw shooter is Fletcher Lawyer. And he is 4 of 4 today.
Well, you see Suter right there. He scored 5 points in the last 35 seconds. Just by being aggressive, and he's going to have to do that more this year for Carmel. He's going to have to kind of take the bull by the horn and get him 20 every night to keep Carmel against the best teams.
And Suter does what he has done his entire career at Homestead, knock down free throws, make clutch plays. Lawyer with 23 today. White leaves the game for Carmel. Charlie Williams back on the floor. Less than a minute to go. Suter with the attack. To Wack for three. Got it. That's Josh Wack's second three. Duell almost got the steal off the inbound. Lawyer with that long floating pass to Leeper. Leeper sees trouble and calls timeout. It's a full timeout. .41 seconds left. The lead is 10, but even though it's a 10-point lead, Mike, this game feels way far from over. What do you think both teams are talking about here?
Well, right now, Homestead's got in a bad situation because they got that ball in the corner, so Carmel can really pressure this out-of-bounds play. It'll be interesting if Homestead can even get the thing in. And then for Carmel, it's something how they miss so many shots, but you get down 14, they can start making them all. And that's just you're behind, you're going for broke, and Carmel was better in that today than when the game was real tight. They missed shots short, and now they made, 3 or 4 shots in a row. And so Carmel's going to have to figure it out a little bit. One thing about Carmel, they're well coached, got 4 starters back, but they're going to take everybody's best shot. This, I'm sure, Homestead's best game they've played this year. And
that's the Cathedral Fighting Irish walking in. They're playing in the final game today against the Brush Arcs from Ohio.
Well, the good thing, Homestead's got 2 timeouts. Carmel doesn't have any, so I guess Homestead can try to, if they can't get it in, they can call timeout again, I guess.
Josh Wack fouls Lawyer. Josh Wack with his 4th, and that is the 8th on Carmel. So Fletcher Lawyer again for the 1-and-1.
Well, that's the guy Homestead wants on the line. If they can get a guy on the line, he's the guy. He's got 24, they got 47, so he's scored over half, and that shows how unselfish Homestead's team is to pass him the basketball today.
8 of 8 from the line is Lawyer. Suter thought about it, take it, nope. And he tracks his own rebound down. Falls down and is fouled. I think they might get Lawyer for this one. Yep, Lawyer just got his 2nd. And that is the 10th foul on Homestead, so double bonus for Carmel.
Well, when the game got in a scramble here at the end, Carmel's done pretty well. Lawyer's made the shots, but Carmel's done pretty darn well.
Pete Suter came into today 4 of 4 from the free throw line, but he is 1 of 4. Now 2 of 5. Lawyer trying to dribble out the clock, but has it stolen away by Wack. Jump ball, and Carmel's got the arrow. To give you an idea of how good Homestead has been on the offensive side of the ball, they have only turned it over 5 times. Got some sweat on the floor that the referee is going to need to wipe up.
Well, if Lawyer had to do that over again when he got caught in the corner, they got 2 timeouts. He could have called it, but 25 seconds, you want your timeouts in case you can't get the darn thing in bounds. If Carmel scores, they got to get it in. If they can't get it in, he's still got 2 timeouts, Coach Johnson, to get it in.
Suter plays it in bounds.
Tell you, Duell's really bothered Homestead on the front of that press, being as long as he is at 6'6".
He's open in the corner. He gets it, takes it, tries to dish it off to Bonds, and I don't think Bonds knew it was coming.
It was a good pass. There's 2 guys that just haven't played much together, so that's kind of part of it.
Carmel not giving up at all, keeping that pressure on. Cal Pwicki giving it back to Swing. And Swing's got to get it up the floor. He does, barely beating the backcourt clock. 8 seconds with a foul.
This is a big win for Homestead's program here, beating Carmel here after last year's defeat, especially when they were undefeated.
Lawyer gets the inbound pass with 5, floats it out of there with 3. Carmel calls off the Dogs, and the Homestead Spartans knock off the Carmel Greyhounds to go to 3-1 on the season. They use a big second half, and they get another fantastic performance out of their lead man, Fletcher Lawyer, who's heading to Purdue. Homestead wins it by 11. Our postgame show comes up next on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Homestead outscores Carmel in the second half, 29-21, to go on and win this game by 11. Homestead won the first quarter 9-7, won the second quarter 10-9, built their lead in the second half, won the third quarter 12-7, and then pushed their lead continuously throughout the fourth period and winning this one 17-14. We have much more to get to. We'll give you the individual stats and get you ready for the next game as well on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going to
before.
happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
Final from this one, Homestead gets it done in the second half, 48-37. They get a big effort out of their Purdue commit, Fletcher Lawyer, 25 of their 48 points. Carmel makes a late rally in the fourth quarter, but they just can't quite finish it off. And Mike, your final thoughts from this one between two of the best teams in Class 4A.
Well, it's a little bit of a surprise, I think, for Carmel to have 2 losses this early in the year. They'll figure it out. And again, like you said, it was too much Lawyer, and really Homestead being too physical. They were very physical today, really could defend the basketball.
He's Mike Broughton. I'm John Herrick. That will do it for us from this one. If you've been watching on MyNDTV, that will conclude our broadcasts on that channel. But you can still watch our final 2 games from the Sneakers for Santa on the ISC Sports Network coming up at 6:30. Lawrence North against Heritage Christian. And then our final game of the day, the Cathedral Fighting Irish taking on the Brush Arcs out of Ohio. That one coming your way at 8:15. The final score for the final time from this one, the Homestead Spartans 48, the Carmel Greyhounds 37. You've been watching Sneakers for Santa on the ISC Sports Network and MyNDTV.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.